Also request that we thank you very much. Please, once again, we're reminded to place our phone.
The B is B1 door, which also leads to
please be seated.
emergency. Please take note of the following important safety briefing from the Safety and Standard Branch. Exit C leads to the lift and emergency steps.
Thereafter, we will then have a safety brief. As many questions as we can possibly take from that of what we expect to get today. First, without the national anthem, the top stanza will be recited.
In event of an emergency, do not use the lift and do
the official commencement of a historic fortnight celebration of the 70th anniversary of the Nigerian Navy. These celebrations are scheduled to commence from today to Thursday, 4th of June 2026, centering in Lagos and across all naval units and formations nationwide. As we stand on the threshold of our Platinum Jubilee, this milestone invites us to look backward with profound gratitude to God Almighty at a 70-year journey that witnessed a modest coastal policing navy transformed into a formidable instrument of national power, regional stability, and blue water prestige. Distinguished audience, the story of the Nigerian Navy is a chronological testament to institutional resilience and strategic adaptability. Historically, the Nigerian Navy was established on 1st June 1956 as the then Naval Defense Force with 250 officers and men, as well as 11 ships inherited from the erstwhile Colonial Marine Department of the Royal Navy. Thereafter, it was designated as the Royal Nigerian Navy in 1958, and the prefix Royal was dropped when Nigeria became a republic in 1963. The modern-day Nigerian Navy was legally established through the Act of Parliament number 21 of 1964 as a statutory branch of the Armed Forces of Nigeria. Instructively, it might interest you that the first Nigerian to head the Nigerian Navy in 1964 was then Commodore J.E.A. Way. At that time, his title was Commodore, commanding Nigerian Navy. He later transitioned to the title of the Chief of the Naval Staff and left the office in 1973 as Vice Admiral. What began with a restricted mandate and handful of retrofitted craft has matured 70 years later into an elite force, projecting power confidently across the West African sub-region, the Gulf of Guinea, and the vast maritime expanse of the sub-Saharan Africa. The Nigerian Navy proved its strategic indispensability early in its post-independence journey during the Nigerian Civil War of 1967 to 1970. During the war, it successfully executed maritime blockades, severed supply lines, secured vital sea lanes for humanitarian and logistics inflows, and conducted amphibious operations that proved decisive in securing national unity. Over decades, the Navy has consistently stepped forward as a reckonable force for global, regional, and national peace. Notably, during the United Nations mission in Lebanon in the 1970s, the Navy supported the United Nations interim force in Lebanon. It navigated the Mediterranean Sea to deliver vital medical supplies and logistical support to the Nigerian Army peacekeeping forces deployed in southern Lebanon. Additionally, during the ECOMOG intervention in Liberia from 1990 to 1999, the Nigerian Navy served as the logistical and combat backbone of the entire sub-regional effort. It enforced strict maritime embargoes, provided critical naval gunfire support, and conducted humanitarian operations that saved thousands of civilian lives. It also conducted sea lifts that safely transported thousands of regional troops and heavy military hardware. Likewise, as you may recall, during the ECOMOG operations in Sierra Leone between 1997 to 2000, the Nigerian Navy played a decisive role in restoring the democratically elected government by enforcing United Nations and ECOWAS maritime embargoes against insurgent forces. It executed vital strategic sea lifts, maintained combat patrols, secured Freetown Harbor, and ensured the unimpeded supply of humanitarian aid. Furthermore, in 2017, the Nigerian Navy participated in the ECOWAS mission in the Gambia, where a regional military stabilization force was deployed. The Navy deployed its special forces, known as the Nigerian Navy Special Boat Services, and an offshore patrol vessel towards ensuring swift, peaceful restoration of constitutional governance in the Gambia. Equally, the ECOWAS stabilization mission in Guinea-Bissau in 2022 provided the Nigerian Navy with another opportunity to successfully project Nigeria's strategic sea lift capability by transporting military battalions, heavy tactical vehicles, and vital hardware to stabilize the country following an attempted coup. Resultantly, all this contributed to the Strategic Sea Lift Memorandum of Understanding signed between Nigeria and the African Union in 2025 for the Nigerian Navy to provide sea lift capacity to aid the African Union with peacekeeping, disaster response, and personnel movement across the continent. Nationally, the Nigerian Navy, through its effort, has ensured that Nigeria has remained fully delisted from the International Maritime Bureau's list of piracy-prone nations since 2022. This has had attendant benefits for lowering shipping, trade, and insurance costs. Regarding shipping, the Nigerian Navy Hydrographic Office, over the years, has facilitated safe navigation in Nigeria's maritime environment through charting of various areas, such as Lagos Harbor, Calabar Channel, Igbokoda, and Oguta Lake, to the Atlantic Ocean, among several others. Furthermore, the Navy has embarked on shipbuilding and has constructed 5 vessels since 2010. These include a ferry, a tugboat, and 3 seaworld defense boats. Presently, the Naval Shipyard Limited in Port Harcourt is constructing a 27-meter ferry for the Akwa Ibom State government, while the Naval Dockyard Limited in Lagos is constructing 2 seaworld defense boats of 44.2 meters in length. It might also interest you that the Naval Dockyard Limited refitted 3 warships for the Nigerian Navy between 2024 and 2025, and is presently refitting 3 more for the Nigerian Navy. Operationally, the Nigerian Navy has over the years been involved with sister services in several internal security, counter-terrorism, and counter-insurgency operations around the country. Particularly, the Nigerian Navy Special Boat Service has been critical in most of these operations in Africa. Still within 2nd and 3rd of June, we'll have international exhibition both from local exhibitors and international exhibitors. The grand finale is the ceremonial sunset and dinner and awards night, which will hold at the Naval Dockyard Limited and Eco Convention Center. Those who have distinguished themselves in the Nigerian Navy and also in the armed forces will be recognized and awarded. Distinguished audience, as we look towards the next decade, under the leadership of the Chief of the Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Idi Abbas, the Nigerian Navy recognizes that the evolving maritime security challenges demand innovative strategies beyond traditional frameworks. Our commitment to becoming a highly digital, in line with the presidential directive to boost crude oil production to 3 million barrels per day by 2030, with an interim goal of 2.5 million barrels per day by 2027. The Nigerian Navy has been leading in executing anti-crude oil theft and anti-illegal refining operations over the years, in collaboration with sister services and security agencies within the Niger Delta. According to the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation Limited, this has led to an increase in average crude oil production from 1.258 million barrels per day in January 2023 to a 5-year high of 1.71 million barrels per day as at April 2026. To crown the effort of the federal government of Nigeria at fleet recapitalization of the Navy, the Global Firepower Report of 2026 adjudged the Nigerian Navy as the strongest naval fleet on the African continent. This is what the Nigerian people should be happy with their Navy. Indeed, the Nigerian Navy at 70 years has been a journey worth celebrating. Consequently, some activities have been lined up as follows. Already, this press conference marks the launching of a series of events that will take place within the next 2 weeks. Tomorrow, we will have the special Jumat prayers, and this will hold across all naval units nationwide. On Saturday, 23rd of May, we will have air shooting novelty competition and a polo novelty match in Abuja here. On Sunday, 24th of May, we'll also have interdenominational church service, both in Abuja and across all naval units nationwide. Interestingly, on Monday, 25th, 725 civilians will be taken to have a sea experience. Over 14,000 Nigerians have indicated interest to go to to sea. However, we are not able to take the entire 14,000, and therefore we had to conduct a raffle draw, which was done online, and the successful participants are the ones that will be taken to sea from Lagos, Port Harcourt, Warri, and Calabar. Not to worry, in the near future, those who still have interest to join the Navy and go to the sea will have that opportunity. On Tuesday, 26th of May, we will have project commissioning across several units of the Nigerian Navy. And to mark the Children's Day, which is 27th, we'll also be carrying out various community outreach focused on children across the country. Let me draw your attention to Friday, 29th of May. We will be receiving friendly foreign naval vessels from the Republic of Benin, Brazil, Cameroon, Cote d'Ivoire, and Ghana within the Lagos harbor. Our friendly participants from these countries will join us on Saturday, 30th of May for various sporting novelty matches, including basketball, volleyball, and golf kitty to hold at Naval Dockyard Limited and the Navy Town Dolphin Golf Course. On Sunday, 31st of May, we welcome our foreign dignitaries through icebreaker that will hold at Eco Hotel. Notably, we'll be receiving heads of African navies from 15 different countries, heads of African Air Force from one country, heads of non-African navies from 10 countries, heads of regional military commands, 3 of them, and also heads of international and regional organization, 10 of them. This will lead to the 1st of June 2026, where we'll be having an international fleet review at the Eco-Atlantic waterfront. This event is to be reviewed by the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He will be personally conducting the trooping and presentation of colors to the Nigerian Navy. He will flag off the Combined Maritime Task Force and also commission 3 vessels into the service of the Nigerian Navy. These vessels are Nigerian Naval Ship Mambila, Gurara, NNS, or Loibiri. And thereafter it will be followed by an international exhibition still at the Eco-Atlantic waterfront. Let me please draw our attention to the Combined Maritime Task Force. This initiative is under the auspices of the African Union Peace and Security Council, which on 23rd April 2025 endorsed formally the Combined Maritime Task Force as a standing and ready to deploy maritime force for the Gulf of Guinea. It is a multinational approach to be able to combat the transnational organized crimes that we have across the 6,000 kilometer expanse of the Gulf of Guinea. It is headquartered in Lagos, and the President and Commander-in-Chief will flag off the event to symbolize its operationalization. Countries that have joined in this are Gambia, Ghana, Liberia, Sierra Leone, and of course, Nigeria. That same 1st of June in the evening, we'll have a gala night at the Eco Convention Center, and